The most dangerous people in your life are the ones who pretend to care. They don't attack you, they drain you quietly. And the worst part, you usually don't notice until it's too late. Fake people rarely show their true face. They smile, they compliment, they play friendly, all while leaving you confused, uneasy, or strangely tired after every interaction. Most viewers today deal with this silently. Co-workers who act supportive but sabotage behind the scenes. Friends who clap for you in public but resent you in private. Or family members who pretend to listen but secretly judge everything you say. These dynamics slip under the radar because they aren't loud. They're subtle, psychological, and deeply exhausting. Stoic philosophy teaches that the world doesn't hurt you through obvious enemies. It hurts you through the people you fail to recognize. But once you learn the signs, their mask becomes transparent. In this video, you'll discover 8 unexpected red flags that reveal exactly who's real and who's quietly poisoning your peace. Red flag. 1. They overpraise you. Too fast, too early. No real person worships you after knowing you for 5 minutes. When praise comes too quickly, it isn't admiration. It's strategy. Fake people often use excessive flattery as their opening move. They compliment your personality, your energy, your intelligence, your values, all before they've spent enough time with you to even understand who you truly are. And while it feels good at first, something inside you senses the imbalance. Genuine connection grows slowly. Manipulation grows instantly. This happens because overpraising is a psychological shortcut. It lowers your guard, speeds up trust, and makes you feel seen in a way you didn't expect. Many Americans fall for this without realizing it, especially if they've been underappreciated at work, overlooked in friendships, or recovering from relationships where validation was rare. Suddenly, someone showers them with attention, and it feels like relief. But that relief is exactly what makes them vulnerable. Stoic philosophy warns us about this dynamic. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should look at actions, not words, because words can be shaped to influence you. Fake people know this. Their compliments aren't gifts. They're tools. They're building an emotional debt you'll subconsciously feel pressured to repay. Here's how this red flag shows up in real life. They say, "You're amazing. I've never met anyone like you," after one conversation. They act overly interested in your goals or dreams without asking deeper questions. They push intimacy or closeness faster than feels natural. They make you feel like you're already special to them, even though they barely know you. And the moment you set boundaries or stop giving them what they want, the praise vanishes. That sudden switch exposes the truth. Their admiration was never real. It was conditional, tactical, and designed to get access to your time, your energy, or your emotional openness. So what should you do? Pause. Observe. Don't mirror their enthusiasm. Let time reveal who they are. Real people don't rush trust. They earn it slowly through consistency. Fake people want shortcuts because they can't maintain authenticity long enough to build something real. Mantra. If it feels too fast, I slow it down. Red flag 2. They mirror you almost perfectly. Real people relate to you. Fake people copy you. And the difference is subtle until you know what to look for. Mirroring is a natural part of human connection. We all do it to some extent, matching tone, energy, or body language. But fake people take this to an unnatural level. They don't just relate to you, they become you. They adopt your interests, repeat your phrases, share your opinions, and reflect your personality almost instantly. It feels flattering at first, almost like you finally met someone who gets you. But that reaction is the trap. People who mirror too perfectly aren't connecting. They're calculating. They're studying your emotional patterns, your insecurities, your desires, and crafting a version of themselves that feels familiar enough for you to trust without hesitation. For many viewers, especially those who grew up without consistent emotional support, this kind of mirroring feels comforting. It feels safe. It feels like compatibility, but it's not compatibility. It's camouflage. Stoic philosophy warns about this kind of seduction through likeness. Epictetus taught that you must judge people not by how agreeable they are, but by how consistent they are over time. A fake person can mimic you for a few weeks, but they can't maintain a borrowed identity for long. Eventually, cracks appear. Their preferences don't align. Their reactions don't match the persona they built. Their energy shifts the moment they're not trying to impress you. Here are signs the mirroring is fake, not natural. They instantly love the same hobbies, shows, or beliefs you do, without nuance. They agree with everything you say, even when your views contradict. They adjust their personality depending on who they're talking to. They move too quickly into instant closeness, saying things like, "I've never felt this understood." This behavior is emotional manipulation disguised as compatibility. The goal isn't connection, it's access. Once they get what they want, validation, information, proximity to your life, their mirroring stops and their real personality emerges, often shockingly different from what they presented. So what should you do? Create space. Ask more nuanced questions. Notice how they behave around others. Authentic people stay consistent across environments. Fake people shift like chameleons because their identity depends on who they're trying to impress. The Stoics teach that clarity comes from observation, not emotion. When someone seems too perfect, don't rush into trust. Slow down, watch their patterns, and let their true character reveal itself. Mantra: authenticity stays. Camouflage fades. Red flag 3. They only show depth. When you show vulnerability. First, a real person opens up naturally. A fake person opens up strategically, and they only reveal just enough to keep you talking. One of the most deceptive traits of fake people is how they handle vulnerability. They rarely start by sharing anything personal. Instead, they wait, they watch, they let you go first. The moment you reveal something real, a fear, a struggle, a painful memory, suddenly they open up too. But pay attention, what they share is usually vague, rehearsed, or emotionally shallow. It sounds deep, but it isn't specific. It isn't lived, it isn't real. This is a psychological tactic. When you speak from your heart, you naturally feel closer to the other person. Fake people know this, and they use your vulnerability as a mirror to create artificial intimacy. Many Americans fall into this trap because emotional openness is rare in daily life, especially in work environments or strained friendships. So when someone finally listens, it feels like relief. It feels like a connection. But it's not connection, it's extraction. Stoic philosophy warns about this hunger for emotional validation. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the danger of giving others access to your inner citadel too quickly. Fake people want that access. They want your stories, your emotions, your wounds, not to understand you, but to study you. Because information is power. Here's how this red flag often shows up. You open up about a difficult chapter in your life. They suddenly have a similar story, but their details never quite add up. You express doubt or insecurity. They comfort you, but file that information away for later. You talk about your goals. They pretend to support you, yet seem strangely indifferent afterward. You reveal something private, and later notice they never shared anything equally personal. And the most telling sign: after you stop sharing, the relationship goes flat. They lose interest, the intimacy dies. Because without your vulnerability, they have nothing left to mimic or feed on. So what should you do? Slow down the emotional pace. Share less. Observe more. Ask neutral questions and notice whether their stories contain real emotional texture or just recycled sad narratives meant to keep you softened. Real people reciprocate vulnerability with intention and sincerity. Fake people match it only when it benefits them. Stoicism teaches emotional discipline. Your inner world is sacred, and not everyone deserves a key to it. Vulnerability is powerful, but only with those who have proven themselves consistent, steady, and safe over time. Mantra: my vulnerability is a gift, and not everyone earns it. Red flag. 4. They disappear the moment you're not useful. Real connections stay, fake connections vanish, and they always disappear at the exact moment you need them most. This red flag hits harder than people admit. Fake individuals don't maintain relationships. They manage opportunities. They stay close when you're helpful, supportive, entertaining, or beneficial. But the moment your life gets heavy, complicated, or inconvenient, they quietly pull away. They don't check in. They don't offer help. They don't ask how you're doing. They simply fade until they need something again. This dynamic is painfully common in American work culture and friendships. You might share rides, lunches, ideas, and emotional labor with someone who seems loyal, until the day you face a crisis. Suddenly, your texts get shorter replies. Your calls go unanswered. Your struggles don't interest them. It feels like a punch in the chest because you realize the relationship was never mutual. You were a convenience, not a priority. Stoic philosophy speaks directly to this. Epictetus taught that we must understand people based on their use of time, not their use of words. When someone only shows up for the best version of your life, but never for the real version of you, that's not friendship, that's extraction. Here's what this red flag looks like in everyday life. You help them through chaos, but when you need support, they're busy. They're excited about your successes, but distant when you're struggling. They only initiate contact when they want a favor, connection, or shortcut. When you take space to care for yourself, they accuse you of changing. The relationship always feels warm on the surface, but strangely hollow underneath. And the clearest sign, if you remove the benefits you provide, attention, support, help, resources, the entire relationship collapses instantly. That's because fake people build emotional connections the way children build sandcastles. Impressive from a distance, but unable to withstand the smallest wave. So what should you do? Redefine your standards. Stop giving unlimited access to people who give you limited effort. Pull back your energy and observe who stays. True connections don't require maintenance through usefulness. They remain through presence, respect, and reciprocity. Stoicism teaches that a person's character is revealed not when life is easy, but when life becomes heavy. Friends who vanish during your storms are not friends, they are lessons. Mantra: if you disappear in my darkness, you don't deserve my light. Red flag 5. They subtly undermine you. Every time you shine, some people won't attack you directly. They attack you through tiny comments that chip away at your confidence, and they do it so quietly that you question yourself instead of them. Fake people rarely show their jealousy openly. They disguise it as jokes, sarcasm, or just being honest. Every time something good happens in your life, a promotion, a new relationship, a personal breakthrough, they respond with a smile that doesn't reach their eyes. Their words sound supportive, but the tone, timing, or energy tells a different story. These subtle micro-cuts are designed to keep you small. A fake friend doesn't want you to fall. They want you to stay just low enough for them to feel comfortable. Many Americans experience this in their closest circles. Co-workers who mock their ambition, friends who tease their achievements, or family members who downplay their growth. It's not loud hostility, it's quiet erosion. Stoic philosophy warns us about such people. Seneca wrote that envy is the most silent and the most corrosive vice. It destroys relationships long before it becomes visible. Fake people use undermining comments as a form of emotional control. If they keep your confidence slightly damaged, they remain the psychologically dominant one in the relationship. Here's how subtle undermining shows up. You share good news. They reply with, "Must be nice," or "Don't get too excited." You express pride in something. They jokingly point out a flaw. You talk about a goal. They list reasons it's unrealistic. You succeed. They remind you of a past mistake to humble you. You compliment yourself. They mock you for being full of yourself. And the pattern is always the same. When you're struggling, they're comforting. When you're rising, they're uncomfortable. It's not compassion, it's control. They prefer you insecure because insecure people are easier to manipulate, easier to influence, and easier to keep around. So what should you do? Pay attention to how people respond to your progress. A real friend celebrates your growth because your success doesn't threaten their identity. A fake person downplays it because your success exposes their stagnation. Don't argue, don't justify, don't shrink yourself. Simply observe, and then limit their access to your emotional life. Stoicism teaches that you must guard your inner flame. Not everyone deserves to stand near the fire you worked so hard to build. If someone consistently dims your light with little comments, believe the pattern, not the excuse. Mantra: anyone who shrinks my confidence loses my closeness. Red flag 6. They never apologize. They only explain. A real person takes responsibility. A fake person takes the long way around it, and they will twist the story just enough to avoid ever saying the words, "I'm sorry." People who lack sincerity treat accountability like a threat. Instead of acknowledging harm, they hide behind explanations, excuses, or long-winded stories meant to distract you from the simple truth. They messed up, and they don't want to own it. This becomes especially clear in American workplace dynamics and family interactions, where emotional avoidance is common. You confront them about something that genuinely hurt you, and instead of meeting you with empathy, they perform a clever emotional sidestep. Stoic philosophy teaches that character is revealed not by perfection, but by how quickly a person corrects themselves. Fake people are terrified of correction because it forces them to drop the mask. So instead, they lean into deflection. They rewrite events, shift the blame, minimize your feelings, or pretend you misunderstood everything. In the end, you walk away feeling guilty for bringing it up in the first place. Here's how this red flag shows up in real life. You express hurt. They respond with, "You're overreacting," or "I didn't mean it like that." You point out disrespect. They give a 10-minute explanation that says nothing. You ask for a simple apology. They talk about their childhood, their stress, their intentions, anything except accountability. You set a boundary. They tell you why your boundary is unfair, dramatic, or not needed. You describe a pattern. They insist it only happened once and you're being too sensitive. The key is this: their explanations are not meant to bring clarity. They are meant to erase your experience. Fake people don't want resolution. They want escape. And they'll use charm, victimhood, logic gymnastics, or emotional guilt to avoid being held responsible. So what should you do? Stop engaging in circular conversations. When someone refuses to apologize, you cannot reason them into maturity. Instead, hold your boundary quietly. Shorten your explanations. Withdraw emotional access. Pay attention to whether they change behavior without being forced. Because improvement without pressure is the true sign of sincerity. Stoicism teaches that your peace depends not on controlling others, but on recognizing who has the capacity for growth and who only has the capacity for excuses. A person who never apologizes is telling you very clearly what kind of relationship they're capable of offering. Mantra: if you can't own your actions, you can't be close to me. Red flag 7. They turn everything into a competition, even when you're not competing. Real people celebrate with you. Fake people compare themselves to you, and their jealousy hides behind a smile you can't quite trust. One of the most exhausting dynamics with fake people is their constant need to one-up you. No matter what you share, a small win, a funny story, a personal breakthrough, they immediately shift the spotlight back onto themselves. It's subtle, but the message is clear. You're not allowed to shine brighter than them. This competitive energy shows up everywhere in modern American life. Co-workers who treat your success as their personal loss, friends who feel threatened when your circumstances improve, or family members who turn every achievement into a comparison. You thought you were simply sharing a moment of joy, but they turned it into a scoreboard, and instead of feeling proud, you walk away confused, deflated, or guilty for doing well. Stoic philosophy warns that envy makes people behave irrationally. Seneca wrote that the envious are tormented by another's happiness, and that describes fake people perfectly. They might not insult you directly, but they will subtly reposition themselves above you, as if your growth diminishes them. Their self-worth is so fragile that your progress feels like a threat they must counteract. Here's how this red flag commonly appears. You mention a new achievement. They instantly mention a bigger one. You talk about improving your life. They lecture you on how they've already done it. You make progress. They downplay it or critique small details to humble you. You share something personal. They respond with something worse or better, shifting the emotional center. You express pride. They act uncomfortable, quiet, or dismissive. The truth is simple. Fake people don't want equality. They want advantage. They measure relationships in psychological distance. As long as they feel above you, they feel safe. But when you rise, they panic, and their competitive behavior becomes more obvious. Sometimes they escalate into subtle sabotage, discouraging you under the disguise of concern. Other times, they simply drift away because your growth makes them feel small. So what should you do? Stop shrinking yourself to keep the peace. You don't have to dim your light so insecure people feel comfortable in your presence. Instead, shift your focus to people who treat your progress as inspiration, not competition. You'll recognize them by how they speak about your success, with pride, encouragement, and no hidden edge. Stoicism teaches that another person's envy is not your burden. Your path is your own, and your only responsibility is to grow with integrity, not to manage someone else's insecurity. Mantra: anyone who turns my growth into rivalry doesn't belong in my circle. Red flag 8. You always feel drained after talking to them. Even when nothing bad happened, your body notices fake energy long before your mind understands it. Your intuition feels the truth your logic tries to ignore, and your exhaustion is the evidence. One of the most overlooked signs of fake people is this: every interaction leaves you feeling heavier, quieter, or strangely off balance, even if the conversation seemed normal. There was no argument, no insult, no obvious negativity. Yet the moment you walk away, something in you feels depleted. That emotional micro-exhaustion is not random. It's a psychological signal that the relationship is one-sided, untrustworthy, or energetically unsafe. In modern American life, where people are chronically tired, stressed, and overstimulated, this red flag often gets dismissed. You might tell yourself you're just busy, or that you're being dramatic, or that it's probably nothing. But Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite. Pay attention to patterns, especially the quiet ones. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind becomes disturbed when it's forced to bend around other people's hidden intentions. Fake people create that disturbance. Even their friendliness feels off, because it isn't grounded in sincerity. It's grounded in performance. Here's how this red flag shows up in everyday interactions. The conversation feels normal, but you leave with a sense of emotional static. They talk at you, not with you, leaving you feeling unheard. You notice you're always the therapist, the fixer, or the emotional container. Their energy feels unpredictable, warm one day, cold the next. You find yourself overthinking the interaction afterward. Did I say something wrong? You feel pressured to be entertaining, helpful, or emotionally available, even when you're tired. This type of exhaustion is not caused by what they say, but by what they take. Your emotional bandwidth, your attention, your presence, your stability. Fake people drain energy because maintaining their persona requires constant emotional labor from you. You're always adjusting, staying polite, staying balanced, staying careful. Over time, that quiet readjustment burns you out. So, what should you do? Honor your intuition. Your nervous system picks up on insincerity before your brain rationalizes it. If someone consistently drains your energy for reasons you can't explain, distance is not rude. It's self-respect. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions, not just during them. The aftermath reveals the truth. Stoicism teaches that peace is the ultimate measure of a relationship. If someone repeatedly disturbs that peace, not through conflict, but through subtle emotional depletion, they are not aligned with the life you're trying to build. Mantra: if my spirit feels heavy around you, my distance will protect me. If you've recognized even one of these red flags, take it seriously. Fake people don't destroy your life in one big moment. They drain it slowly, silently, and subtly. And the most dangerous part is how easy it is to blame yourself instead of the pattern. But Stoic philosophy reminds us of something essential. Your peace is your responsibility, and your environment shapes your mind more than you realize. You don't need confrontations, drama, or explanations. You don't need to prove who's fake or justify why you're pulling away. All you need is clarity. Real connections nourish you. Fake ones exhaust you. The distinction becomes obvious once you stop ignoring how people make you feel. So from this moment forward, protect your inner circle with intention. Observe people over time. Pay attention to patterns, not promises. And choose relationships that respect your boundaries, your energy, and your growth. Thank you for spending this time strengthening your mind and sharpening your awareness. If this video helped you see things more clearly, leave a comment saying, "I see the signs." And don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more Stoic lessons that keep your mind unshakable and your peace untouchable.